Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's class. In today's class, we will solve some problems based on the R connected to AC circuit, pure inductance connected to AC circuit, and pure capacitance connected to AC circuit. Before proceeding with the problems, just we will do a small recap. What is the behavior of the voltage and the current? In case of a pure resistance, they will be in phase. Okay, if applied voltage to the pure resistance is V is equal to Vm sin omega t, then current is also in phase with the voltage. So I is equal to Im sin omega t. And how to calculate the Im? Im is equal to Vm by R. And what is the power consumed in a pure resistive circuit? P is equal to capital V into capital I, where V is the RMS value of the voltage and capital I is the RMS value of the current. That is for the pure resistance. In case of a pure inductance, having the inductance of L, so then if we apply a voltage V is equal to Vm sin omega t, the resulting current will lag the voltage by 90 degree. What is the meaning of a lag? After I apply the voltage from the zero reference, the current will take pi by 2 time. Okay, so it will take a like a one fourth of a cycle time to start. So that is pi by 2. So equation can be given as I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. And what is the power consumed in the pure resistive circuit? Power consumed in the pure inductive circuit is 0. And we know that the ratio of voltage and current, that is capital V by capital I, is equal to capital Vm divided by capital Im is equal to XL. And what is XL? XL is nothing but the
Sir,
it
let
is,
me write a question.
sorry,
Question write, sir.
Prashant, can you repeat? I didn't get
Let me write question, sir, first.
a question. This question, I will share this problem in your group, in your classroom. Don't write down the question. Try to understand what I am explaining. Try to understand. You will get it. Okay. This PDF, I'm going to
Okay, sir.
attach it to your today's class video. Don't worry about noting down anything. Try to understand. Okay. That is important. This will be shared. All right. So in case of a pure inductance, capital V by capital I is equal to capital Vm by capital Im is equal to XL. XL is inductive reactance and XL is equal to omega L also is equal to XL is equal to 2 pi FL. In case of a pure capacitance, if we apply a voltage V is equal to Vm sin omega t, the current will lead the voltage. Means current will start even before we apply the voltage. So it will lead by pi by 2. The equation for the current I is equal to Im sin omega t plus pi by 2. And the power consumed in the pure capacitance is 0. And the ratio V capital V by capital I is equal to capital Vm by capital Im is equal to Xc. And what is Xc? Xc is capacitive reactance. And capacitive reactance is equal to Xc is equal to omega L. Xc is equal to 2 pi, Xc is equal to 1 upon omega c. You have to remember that Xc is equal to 1 divided by omega c is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi fc. With that understanding, we will solve problems on R, L, and C. So let us understand the problem statement. A 60 hertz voltage of 115 volt inside the bracket RMS. So here you have to remember, when they talk about the AC voltage, whether they say it RMS or no, you have to take it as RMS value. When your household voltage is 230, that is a RMS value. We do not specify it as a RMS. Even if it is not specified, you have to take it as a RMS value. So is applied on a 100 ohm resistance. What we have to do first, write the time equations for the voltage and resulting current. Means what? We have to write the instantaneous equation of the voltage and the current. The question, the way they phrase is, it is little difficult, little different, but it's the same. Time equations or instantaneous equations all are same. let the 0 point of the voltage wave be at t is equal to 0. Means what? The voltage will start at time t is equal to 0. That is what we were doing so far. Second, so we have to find the two equations, instantaneous values of the equation v, lowercase v and lowercase I. Show the voltage and current on a time diagram. What is the meaning of this? Draw the waveform. Then third, show the voltage and current on a phasor diagram. So we have to draw the phasor diagram first. So it is a pure resistance. In case of a circuit with a pure resistance connected to AC voltage, generic equation of V and I. So first thing you have to remember, you have to write the generic equation according to the what component it is. So for resistance, V is equal to Vm sin omega t, I is equal to Im sin omega t. Both voltage and current are in phase. Then write the given values. What are the given values? Frequency is given, f is equal to 60 hertz. V, capital V, you have to remember it is a RMS value. Capital V is equal to 115 and R, resistance is equal to 100 ohm. Then first thing you have to do is draw the circuit diagram. Always remember, the first thing you have to do is draw the circuit diagram. Then things will become very clear and represent all the values on the circuit diagram. So this is the voltage source. RMS value is 115 volt, and this voltage is having a frequency of 60 hertz. It is applied to a resistance. Now we know the relation between the RMS value and the peak value. So what is the relation? RMS value V is equal to 0.707 Vm. We know the RMS value, then we can calculate Vm. So why we are calculating Vm? So we have to write the equation, right? First question that is asked is write the time equation or the instantaneous equation. So here we have V is equal to, we have to find Vm, we have to find omega. For current, I have to find Im and omega. If I do that, then we can write the equation. That is why we are finding the Vm first. Therefore, Vm is equal to what? RMS value divided by 0.707, 115 divided by 0.707, that will come as Vm is equal to 163 volts. We got the Vm. Now we know the relation between Vm, Im and R. V by I ratio is always a opposition. So in this case, it is a resistance. Vm by Im is equal to R, and R is equal to R is equal to 163 divided by Im, which is equal to 100. Therefore, Im is equal to 163 divided by 100. We get it as 1.63 amperes. So now we got Vm, we got Im. What we have to calculate is now omega. And omega, we know the equation for the omega. What is the equation for the omega? Omega is equal to 2 pi f. F is known, 2 pi into 60. That is 377 radians per second. Now we can write the time equations or the instantaneous equations. V is equal to 163. Vm is 163, isn't it? 163 into sine omega, you replace by 377 t. And similarly, current is I is equal to 1.63 sine of 377 t. So don't worry, don't note down anything. This PDF will be shared. You can take a look. If you have any question, you ask it right away so that I can clear your doubt. So any doubts you clarify. Later you can refer to the document. Now we have to draw the waveform. So waveform, for drawing the waveform, as I told you, we need two important entities. One is the peak value and second one is the time period. How to find the time period? We know the relation f is equal to 1 by t, t is equal to 1 by f, f is given 1 by 60. It will come as t is equal to 0.01666, so on it will get. So that can be represented as t is equal to 16.667 millisecond. Am I audible clearly, or is there a lot of background noise?
Audible, sir.
All right. 1 second. Hold on. I'll close the. So it is raining heavily outside. If you are in Belgaum, you must be experiencing. Okay. So I have the time period, that is 16.67 millisecond. So what is time period? Time taken to complete one cycle. So this time period is 16.67 millisecond. Then this is the voltage which starts from a 0. So 0 and peak value is 163, right? Already, if you want to mark that, you can mark that 163. Then it completes one cycle. And this is the current. Current also starts from 0 because both are in phase. So it also starts from 0 and it will have the same frequency. And this is the IM value. And our IM is 1.63. Both voltage and current are represented on the y-axis and the time is the x-axis. And how to draw the phasor diagram? Very, very simple. We have the voltage, it is in reference, means it starts from the 0. So this is the voltage, and current is also in phase with the voltage. So you will draw the current also on the same line. Next, so next one is a pure inductance. A 60 hertz voltage of a 230 volt effective value. You don't worry about effective value, whatever they say, you take it as a RMS value. Okay. Is impressed on an inductance of 0.265 Henry. Impressed means it is applied. What we have to do? We have to first write the time equations of voltage and current, that is lowercase v and lowercase I. Let the zero axis of the voltage wave be at t is equal to 0, means voltage will start at 0. And even if they don't specify voltage starts at 0, please take voltage starting from 0 so that it will be easy for drawing everything or doing the calculation. Now solution. This is what? Pure inductance. L is given 0.265 Henry. And first you write down the equation, behavior of the voltage and current in a pure inductance. In case of a circuit with a pure inductance connected to AC voltage, the generic equations, means general equation of voltage and current are lowercase v is equal to Vm sin omega t, and current will lag the voltage by 90 degree. Therefore, I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. Then write all the given values. What is given? Frequency is given. RMS value of the voltage is given, that is capital V is equal to 230, and inductance is given, capital L is equal to 0.265 Henry. So then what you will do? The first thing you will do is you draw the circuit diagram. So this is the inductor connected to a voltage source. V is equal to 230 volt, F is 60 hertz, and L is equal to 0.265 Henry. First thing what you should do is you calculate XL. The minute frequency is given, inductance is given in the equation, just calculate XL. And if it is a pure capacitance, calculate XC. That is the first thing you have to do. XL is equal to omega L 2 pi FL. Therefore, XL is equal to 2 pi into 60 into 0.265. You get it as 99.85 to approximately 100 ohm. Then now in this above equation, again similar to previous, we have to find Vm and Im, and we have to find omega. So how to find Vm? We know the relation between the RMS value and the peak value, that is Vm. V is equal to 0.707 Vm. Therefore, Vm is equal to V divided by 0.707, that is 230 divided by 0.707. We get it as 325.32 volt. That is the peak value or the maximum value Vm. Then we know the relation Vm by Im is always a opposition. Vm by Im is equal to capital V by capital I is equal to XL. Remember that formula. Therefore, Im is equal to Vm by XL. Vm is how much? 325.32. This is the one, divided by 99.852. That is the XL. How much you get? Im is 3.258 amperes. And one more thing we have to find is omega. Omega is equal to 2 pi f. 2 pi into 60, we get it as 377 radians per second. So always try to write the units. I missed the units here. So therefore, equation of the instantaneous voltage V is equal to 325.32 sin 377t, and current I is equal to 3.258 sine 377t minus pi by 2. This is very, very important. Don't miss this, minus pi by 2. Now, next is we have to draw the phasor diagram and the waveform. The phasor diagram is simple. On the reference, that is x-axis, you will draw the voltage and you will draw the current. Okay. See, always phasor will rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. Means I is behind, right? I is behind, lagging. So at 90-degree, you draw the I. And similarly, waveform. This is the voltage waveform which starts at 0. This is the peak value, that is 325.32, and this is the time period. So time period I didn't calculate in the previous calculation, same frequency. That's why t is equal to 16.67 millisecond. Every problem you have to calculate. Okay, just t is equal to 1 by f is equal to 1 by 60. You get it as 16.67 milliseconds. So this is the time period. Now the current will lag the voltage. Lag means what? It will, current will not start until pi by 2. After that the current will start. So this equation is I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. So if you represent this much, then it is very clear. Next we will see the pure capacitance. Now a 50 hertz voltage of 230 volts effective, that is RMS value, is impressed on a capacitance of 26.5 microfarad. Same thing we have to do. Write the time equations of voltage and current. Let 0 axis of the voltage start at t is equal to 0. Show the voltage and current time diagram, that is waveform. Show V and I on phasor diagram. So phasor diagram we have to write the mathematical equation of voltage and current, waveform of the voltage and current, and phasor diagram of the voltage and current. The first thing is, in case of a pure capacitance, current I leads the voltage V by 90-degree or pi by 2. Therefore the generic equations are V is equal to Vm sin omega t, I is equal to Im sin omega t plus pi by 2. You have to remember, plus pi by 2. So if I find Vm, Im and omega, so my equations are ready. Write the given values. What are the given values? Just note down, the frequency is 50 hertz, RMS value is 230 volt, capacitance is given, C is equal to 26.5 microfarad. Make sure that you keep it in farad. Okay, many times I see the common mistake is they directly use 26.5, which will give wrong results. It is microfarad, sometimes millifarad. Whatever is given, you have to put it in the farad. 26.5 into 10 raised to minus 6 farad. Now, as I told you before, whenever C is given, first thing you will do is calculate XC. XC is equal to 1 by omega C. Again, common mistake, even before I said XC is equal to omega C. So you have to be very cautious. XC is 1 by omega C. Please remember that. Okay. XC is 1 by omega C is equal to 1 by 2 pi FC. XC is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi. Now frequency is 50 and C is 26.5 into 10 raised to minus 6. You have to take this 10 raised to minus 6 into account. We get it as 120 ohm. So XC, capacitive reactance, is 120 ohm. How to find Vm? We know the relation. RMS value V is equal to 0.707 peak value Vm, or the maximum value. Therefore, Vm is equal to V divided by 0.707. 230 is the given voltage. 230 divided by 0.707, that comes as 325. Just here the fraction part is left out. Then we know Vm by Im is equal to Vm by I is the Xc. Always remember, I am repeating many times, capital V by capital I is the opposition of the circuit. If it is a resistance, then it is R. If it is a inductance, this is XL. If it is a capacitance, XC. So Vm by Im is equal to Xc. Im is equal to Vm by Xc, that is 325 divided by 120. Okay. So we get IM as 325 divided by 120, that is 2.71 amperes. Then calculate omega. Omega is 2 pi f. F is 50 hertz. You get it as 314 radians per second. Then we can write our two equations. V is equal to Vm is 325 into you have to write here sine 314t. So don't just, it is a small mistake. Whatever the omega value you have to write. So equation is V is equal to 325 sine 314t, and I is equal to 2.71 sine 314t plus pi by 2. Then waveform, first you draw the voltage. Voltage will start from 0, and first time period you have to calculate, because you don't know how much is the time period. So for that, t is equal to 1 by f, t is equal to 1 by 50, and you get it as 20 millisecond. So this the time taken for one cycle is 20 millisecond. You have to mark that time period. This is the voltage. V is equal to 325 sine 314 t. Then current will lead. So current will lead, how you can imagine is, actually this is pi by 2. You can voltage is started here. You can just this is like imaginary already. If you complete this cycle, it gives a feeling that the current, this is the current had started before pi by 2, because it, whenever voltage is applied, the current would be maximum. So just we can think that current has started before, that is pi by 2, that is current leading by pi by 2. So this is dotted. This is just for the understanding. Actual what, the minute you apply, the current would be maximum. This is Im, and when voltage is peak Vm, current is 0, and so on. So when you are drawing the current for the pure capacitance, just you have to be make sure that at 0 time, t is equal to 0, Im is already peak. That you can also see from this equation. If you substitute t is equal to 0 in this equation, t is equal to 0. Actually, this is 314 into 0. So this part will become 0. Then sine of pi by 2. Sine of 90 is what? It is 1. I is equal to 2.71. At here, it is 2.71. If I substitute I the omega t at the time as this, that is omega t is equal to pi by 2. Omega t is equal to pi by 2 is, if I do, then I will get pi by 2 plus pi by 2, that is sine of pi. And we know that sine of pi is 0. So this current will become 0, and so on. Then phasor diagram. This is the reference axis, x-axis. We draw the voltage, and we know that this is how the phasor rotate anti-clockwise. Now you can see already the current is leading. So current is ahead of the voltage by 90 degree. You draw the current here, and this is 90 degree. I hope everybody understood. Any doubts? So there will be problems on a similar line. The analysis will remain same. The unknowns might change, but the analysis, if you have understood this completely, then any kind of a problem can be solved. Next, we will see the RL circuit. So this is a combination of a resistance as well as a inductance. So you can see a resistance, pure resistance R is connected in a series with a pure inductance having a self inductance of L and having a inductive reactance of XL. This series combination is connected across a voltage source having the instantaneous value V is equal to Vm sine omega t, and this RMS value is capital V, and this results in a instantaneous current lowercase I, or RMS value capital I, and this current will flow in this particular circuit. Now our analysis is, what is the relation between the voltage and the current in case of a RL circuit, what is the power consumed, all those analysis we will do. Now as we know the series combination principle, whatever the applied voltage V, it will get dropped across all the components. So this total voltage V will get dropped across all the components. In case of a DC circuit, it is very simple because DC is a scalar. But in case of a alternating voltage, it is a phasor. So it has a magnitude as well as the angle. It is not a simple algebraic sum. It is a like a phasor sum. Now this applied voltage V is gets dropped across resistance that we represented as VR, capital V and suffix R. This is nothing but the RMS value of the voltage across the resistor. VL is the RMS value of the voltage across the inductor. Now let us assume and VR is the voltage across resistor, and what is the current that will flow? That is I, okay, capital I. And what is the current that will flow in this L? That is also capital I. Why? Because they are connected in series. When two components are connected in series, the current that flows in those components is exactly the same. So the current is capital I and the voltage is capital VR. Now we will treat this as two separate. Just we will assume this resistance is connected across a voltage source VR. And if I ask you to draw the phasor diagram, already we did the analysis. In case of a pure resistance, the current I is in phase with the applied voltage. What is the applied voltage? Applied voltage is VR, the current is I. So capital I and VR would be in phase. So how to draw the phasor diagram? This is the VR, which is on the reference line or the x-axis, and the current flowing is also in phase with the VR. So angle between this I and VR is 0. You draw the current also on the same line. This is for the resistance. Now if I take this inductance separately, what is the voltage applied across it? It is VL. So VL is applied across the inductance and the current flowing is I. And what is the relation between the current and the voltage in case of a pure inductance? The current lags the voltage VL by 90 degree. And if I draw the phasor diagram, this is on the reference line. I have VL and the current is lagging by 90 degrees. So you can see it is lagging by 90 degree, and this is the current. Okay, just for the understanding, just think you are going to tilt this one anti-clockwise, so you get I here and VL here. Okay, now we will combine both because they are in series. We will combine these two phasors. So when we are combining, let me reduce it so that you can see. Okay, now we are going to combine these two phasors into one phasor, this phasor and this phasor into one phasor. You can see the I is here. Okay, I is here. This is VR and VL will form as a x-axis. So you can see here I'm rescaling the current. So this is the current on the x-axis and VR is also on the x-axis. And if I take this and paste it here, this is the current and this is VL. Okay, so once you draw the combined phasor diagram, do the analysis again whether for the what is the voltage across resistor VR, is it in phase with current? Yes, the angle between VR and I is 0. Now VL and I, what is the relation between VL and I? The current lags the voltage by 90 degree. You can see here VL is here and current is lagging by 90 degree. So this is a perfect diagram. Now we have to find the phasor sum of VR and VL. So if I use the graphical method, I will join this, which is representative of the applied voltage capital V, and this angle is phi. Now if you see here, it is a right angle triangle, and we know using Pythagoras theorem we can say V square is equal to VR square plus VL square, right? Isn't it? So therefore capital V, that is applied voltage, is square root of VR square plus VL square. And what is the VR? VR is from Ohm's law. What is V? V is equal to I into R. Current into the opposition of that component. In case of a resistance, it is R. We know that VR, that is voltage across resistor, is I into R. Voltage across inductor is equal to I into XL. We will substitute those two equations. So VR I will replace by IR, VL I will replace by I into XL. So V is equal to square root of IR square plus IXL square. I square I can take out. Inside the bracket what remains? R square plus XL square. I is same for both, right? Now square root of I square into R square plus XL square. I square I can take out of the square root. Therefore V is equal to I into square root of R square plus XL square, or I can write V by I is equal to square root of R square plus XL square. And I told you what is V by I. Anybody? What is the V by I represents for any circuit?
Opposition.
Very good. So this is the opposition offered by the RL circuit. And how to calculate the opposition offered by the RL circuit? It is nothing but square root of R square plus XL square. And we know what is XL. XL is equal to omega L is equal to 2 pi FL. Now, in case of a RL, we call it as a impedance. So V by I, this is nothing but Z. What is the impedance of the circuit? Impedance of the circuit is the opposition offered to the flow of the current in that particular circuit. In this case, it is a RL circuit. So opposition is always represented as ohms. So impedance is also represented as ohms. So you have to remember V by I is equal to Z. Now same, everything is in the same line. Whatever the analysis we are doing is in the same line. V by I is equal to R, resistive circuit. V by I is equal to XL, inductive circuit. V by I is equal to XC, capacitive circuit. V by I is equal to Z, RL circuit. What is Z? Z is square root of R square plus XL square. Now, one thing we have found out is this is the applied voltage and this is the resulting current. Now, what is the angle between them? The applied voltage is V and angle is the current is this I. Definitely, you can say the current is lagging the voltage, isn't it? We know that phasor rotate in the anti-clockwise, so the voltage is leading. In case of a RL circuit, the current, this is the current, is lagging the applied voltage by angle phi. And how to calculate what angle it is lagging by? So you can use the tan function. So tan function is what? VL. So if I say tan function, tan of phi is equal to opposition upon adjacent, VL divided by VR. So tan phi is equal to VL by VR. And also VL, we know it is I into XL, VR is I into R. I will get cancelled, XL by R. So how to find the angle between the voltage and the current? Tan phi is equal to either VL by VR or XL by R. So you will say phi is equal to tan inverse of VL by R or tan inverse of XL by R. That is how you can going to find the phase angle between the voltage and the current. So in case of a RL, remember current lags the voltage by angle phi. Now you can see the waveform. This is the voltage waveform. V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Then this is the current, the current that is flowing. The current will start after an angle phi. And what is the value of the phi? We can calculate using the tan phi, which is VL by R or XL by R. Now, so current will take an angle phi to start, and then it will start and it will have the same frequency. Now, if I represent V is equal to Vm sin omega t, then the current I is Im sin omega t minus phi. Everybody, I hope everybody understood. I is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. That is the current representation. Intuitively, to understand this particular problem, I will just show you. Let us say this is the phasor diagram. Let us say I don't have a resistance. Okay. Let us begin with inductance. Let us say I don't have an inductance. I have just the capacitance. Just think that this is 0. We don't have. So what we have is a resistance. So if VL is 0, you can see this point will come and join here. So this point will, because this is 0, this point will come and join here. That means V is equal to VR. And what is the relation between VR and I? They are in phase. And assume that there is no resistance, just the inductance is there. Then you can see this VR will get removed. VR will become 0. Only inductance is there. So we will have VL. Then this point will come here. Then V is equal to VL. And what is the relation between voltage and current? Current lags the VL. Now we have both R and L. Depending upon the value of the R and L, the angle will depend. Okay, so if I say, if resistance is very high, then the angle will tend towards the 0. If inductance is very high, the angle will tend towards the 90 degree. So this angle will be between 0 and 90 degree. If it is a pure resistance, angle is 0. If it is pure capacitance, it is 90 degree. If it is in between, then the value of the phi would be between 0 and 90 degree. Now next, impedance. Already we have seen opposition offered to the flow of the current in a RL circuit. Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL square, where XL is equal to omega L is equal to 2 pi FL. And this impedance is also represented as a ohm. And now, what is the power consumed in a RL circuit? So to calculate that, P is equal to V into I, where lowercase p is the instantaneous power consumed, V is the instantaneous value of the voltage, and I is the instantaneous value of the current. So if we substitute, V is Vm sin omega t, I is what? Im sin omega t minus phi. So it lags by angle phi. Then P is equal to Vm Im, which are constant, sin omega t into sin omega t minus phi. If we simplify this equation, so I will take out, so this is the multiplication sin omega 2. Then we will simplify this. Sin omega t minus phi is what? Sin omega t into cos phi minus cos omega t into sin phi. And I will multiply this equation by 2 and divide by 2. So Vm by 2 is equal to, this is multiplied here, sin omega t into sin omega t, sin square omega t, and 2 we have 2 sin square omega t into cos phi. And here what happens? We have 2 into sin omega t cos omega t into sin phi. So minus 2 sin omega t cos omega t into sin phi. And this sin omega t, 2 sin omega t into cos omega t is represented as sin 2 omega t. Rest is same. Vm by Im by 2, 2 sin square omega t cos phi, same as this line. And this is represented with sin 2 omega t into sin phi. Now what we are going to do is, inside the square bracket, I'm going to add cos phi, and I'm going to subtract cos phi. So you can see cos phi minus cos phi, rest is same, 2 sin square omega t cos phi and minus sin 2 omega t into sin phi. Now next, I will rearrange. This cos phi will remain as is, minus cos phi. So out of these two, we have cos phi here also. I will take out that common factor, cos phi. What remains here is 1 minus 2 sin square omega t, and inside the parenthesis, and this will remain same, minus sin 2 omega t into sin phi. This will get simplified as, we know that 1 minus 2 sin square omega t is cos 2 omega t. Therefore, Vm Im by 2 is equal to, into a square bracket, this is cos phi as is, minus cos phi into cos 2 omega t, which is 1 minus 2 sin omega t, minus as is sin 2 omega t into sin phi. Now next, this we will, okay, this complete thing, what is this? This is, if I take minus 1 common, what it will be? Cos phi into cos 2 omega 2 plus sin 2 omega 2, sin 2 omega t into sin phi. What is that? It is nothing but cos 2 omega t minus phi. cos 2 omega t minus 5 is nothing but cos phi into cos 2 omega t plus sin 2 omega t into sin phi. We have taken the minus 1 common outside. So what remains? Vm Im by 2 into cos phi minus cos 2 omega t minus phi. Okay, so just we will multiply both the sides. P is equal to Vm Im into cos phi. Okay, this is one part, and minus Vm Im by 2 into cos 2 omega t minus phi. So if you see here, Vm is constant, Im is constant, 2 is constant, and cos phi is constant. Why phi is constant? If give the inductance value is constant, if given resistance is constant, tan phi is given by the ratio, right? XL by R. So that is why phi is also constant. For a given RL circuit, phi will be constant. So this complete component of the power is constant, and this is a fluctuating part of the power. And if I integrate, if I try to find the average power over one cycle, this part will become 0. So you can do that calculation, try to integrate over one cycle, 0 to 2 pi, integration of this divided by 2 pi, that will become 0. And what remains is this part. Therefore, average power consumed P is equal to Vm Im divided by 2 into cos phi. And this 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. Therefore, P is equal to what? Vm by Im, Vm by root 2 into Im by root 2 into cos phi. Therefore, this part is cut here. This is nothing but capital V, RMS value of the voltage. This is RMS value of the current. So power can be represented as P is equal to V into I into cos phi. And what is cos phi? Cos phi is represented as the power factor of the circuit. So phi is what? Angle between the voltage and the current, and cos of that angle is called as the power factor of the circuit. So what is the power equation? P is equal to V into I into cos phi. And if you remember, what is the power consumed for the pure resistance? P is equal to V into I. So why P into, V into I? Because the phi is 0. If I put cos as cos of 0 is 1, that is why we get P is equal to Vi. So in case of a alternating circuit, the generic equation of the power is P is equal to V into I into cos phi, where V is the RMS value, I is the RMS value of the current, and cos of phi, and phi is the angle between the voltage and the current. So if we draw the impedance triangle, so this is VR, this is from this diagram, the phasor diagram I have taken. This is VR, this is VL, and this is V. I have taken that diagram, and we just tweak it to get the impedance triangle, something called as an impedance triangle. So you can see here, this is VR, and VR we know it is I into R. VL we know I into XL. And what is V by I? V by I is equal to Z. Therefore, V is equal to I into Z. If I remove the I component, okay, from these three, what remains? This is Z, and this angle is phi, this angle is phi, this is R, and this is XL. If you remember this triangle, this is voltage triangle and this is impedance triangle, you don't have to remember any equations. From this diagram, you can say Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL square. Phi is equal to what? Tan inverse XL by R. So, and power is P is equal to VI cos phi. And how to find the phi? You can say cos phi is what? R by Z. Okay, it is adjacent upon hypotenuse. Cos phi is equal to R by Z, or phi you can find another way, tan phi. Tan phi is equal to XL by R. And if you apply the same thing to this, V is equal to square root of VR square plus VL square, and phi is equal to tan inverse VL by VR, and P is equal to VI cos phi. And cos phi, using the tan phi function, you can find out.